This video is brought to you by Skillshare. So the new DJI RS2 and RSC2 are much better than the original models, but the default smoothtrack settings are terrible. So today I'm going to show you what I found to be the most natural settings for both gimbals. And these settings should work regardless of the camera weight. You just need to be sure to auto-tune your camera anytime the weight of your rig changes significantly. And you're going to need to finesse them and play with them a little bit and see what works best for you in the way that you move your gimbal. So it turns out that the speed and deadband settings interact with one another. You can kind of think of the speed setting as this ramp and the deadband setting as the point that you enter onto that ramp. So adjusting your deadband can actually have effect on the overall speed as well. But I've done a lot of tests and I think I found what's going to be the best settings for most people. All right, so to get started, we'll need to use the Ronin app. The screens on both of these are good for broad adjustments, but you can't apply different custom settings, so we'll need to fine tune these within the app. All right, now as we go in for gimbal mode, we just want to set that to pan, tilt, follow mode, and we can just leave the roll axis disabled. All right, now when we get in here, we can just go to the user profile M1, and for follow speed, just set that to custom, and we'll set pan to 13, tilt to 13, and I have the roll set at 12 even though it's disabled. On the deadband, we'll set that to custom as well. And for pan, I like that at 2. At tilt, you can set it at 3, and we'll just leave roll at 0. Most times you don't have to use the joystick, but I have found that sometimes if you just need a little extra speed, you can use the joystick. I think it feels most natural if you want to accent that movement to push the joystick in the same direction that I'm panning. So I just like to reverse the tilt and the pan. So the same thing will happen in the tilt. When I'm tilting up, I push down to force that to tilt up a little bit quicker. All right, so we'll go over to the motion settings, and for the pan, we'll do deadband at medium. For max speed, we'll leave that at medium as well, and smoothness can be 15. Now we can go over to the tilt settings, and deadband will be at 8, max speed of slow, and smoothness of 17. And that really helps for the camera to land in position without having any abrupt stops. So obviously it's always best to have perfect balance for every shot, but a little tip if you're using a zoom lens and in more of a run and gun mode is to balance everything for the midpoint of that zoom lens. And now if you have to zoom out or zoom in, your gimbal will never be as far out of whack as it would be if, say, you balanced at the wide end and then decided to zoom in. Okay, so now that you've got everything dialed in, the most important thing that you can do is to take screenshots of all of your settings and save them into your notes folder. This can really save you because gimbals can be kind of finicky. I used my Ronin-S for several years and I only had to do it once, but I was on a shoot and it just freaked out on me and I had to do a hard reset. And fortunately, I was able to just pull up my settings that were saved and I had it dialed back in within 5 minutes and we were up and shooting again, no problem. So save these settings, that way you can pull them back up if you ever get in a pinch. And now I have 3 more bonus tips for you, but before we get to that, let me tell you about this video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes. So when you're learning any new skill, it's important to start with the fundamentals and build from there. That's exactly what the Skillshare classes are designed to do. You can learn everything from cinematography to video editing. Right now I'm improving my sketching to help with storyboards. I've always been really embarrassed about my storyboarding skills and I've always been a little scared to show off my boards to anyone. So this class from Siobhan Twomey is helping a lot. Skillshare is less than $10 a month with an annual subscription, and you can use the link in the description to get a free trial of the premium membership so you can go explore and start learning. All right, for these extra little tips, remember to press the power button once to lock the screen if you're using the RS2. I also like to go in enable silent mode so that you're not making any noise when you're shooting. And if you're not doing any selfie shots, go ahead and disable selfie mode so that you don't accidentally have the camera suddenly turn around and face you. All right, so there you have it. My favorite settings for the DJI RS2 and the RSC2. If you have any tips you want to share with others, just drop them in the comments below. And until next time, have fun shooting.